It's time for Cigar Talk, the fastest growing cigar show in the nation. Whether you're a new cigar enthusiast or a cigar aficionado, we have something for everyone. Bringing you the best interviews, cigar reviews. So grab yourself a cigar.
It's time to light 'em up.
I can blow better than you. Welcome back, Cigar Talk, folks. I don't know where that came from. We got Big Larry with us tonight.
Hello.
And he's sitting in the co-host seat, so it looks like he's taking a big drink, and now he's ready. How you doing, bro?
I'm ready.
All right. Well, welcome.
Thank you.
And thanks for coming in, hanging out with us, as, you know, we do a lot.
There's bourbon and cigars. I'm going to be here.
Yeah, and I mean, when is there not?
That's why I'm always here.
Hey! So anyway, guys, we got a great show coming up for you. We do have Laure from Micallef Cigars. We got her for an interview. We had a great time at the open house.
That was an outstanding.
And you'd never been there.
I had never been. It was my first time. I'm going back next year.
It was badass.
And the year after.
And wasn't it cool, all the people you get to meet?
It was a mind-blowing.
And I mean, I want to say, I mean, and I'm ballparking, I could be a little off, but there was about 90 ambassadors there. And just when there's 90 ambassadors, it's not like going to your local cigar shop. It's much more grand than that, because there's all these people that we have something in common.
You know, we've talked about it a lot, the cigar community, and that was so much community there.
Oh,
so many, just
100%. And I mean, good people. Did you see the picture I posted today that said the winner of the legs contest?
I missed that one.
Oh, I'll have to show it to you.
Okay.
You remember when we did the 3 picture? It was me, you, and that dude.
Yes.
JT?
Yes. Yeah.
I think that's his name. Anyway, he lifted his leg up. You made a big face, so I posted that photo and said, the winner of the legs contest.
It should have been me. It
Yeah.
should have been me.
Well, you had your pants on.
Well, yeah.
We try to keep it that way.
I was in public.
Yeah. So anyway, let's tell everybody what we're smoking and drinking. Let's let you go for you're smoking a Micallef. Well, tell us about that cigar.
I'm smoking the Micallef
Black.
Yes.
What do you think about that?
This is a great cigar, and I enjoyed the story about how this cigar was, how the conception, how this was conceived. It was a fantastic story, and it's a great cigar.
And it's under $8.
Yeah, the price point.
I mean, for a top tier cigar to be under $8, like there's not a lot of brands that do that. You know, I was at the Leaf yesterday and I bought the 1936 La Galera, and I think that cigar was like maybe $9. And I just thought, man, you know what? It's so nice that there's companies out there that make a cigar that is not just okay or decent to smoke, but good. Under $10.
Unbelievable.
I mean, for me, that's like night and day when I know I can go in and get a cigar that's under $10 that I'm going to actually enjoy the stuff out of.
I continue to be blown away by how great this cigar is. It's full of flavor. For me, it's got the strength that I like.
It's strong.
Yeah.
It's probably their strongest cigar, and it's also smooth. And I mean, you know what? I hate to say it, but it's cheap. You know what I mean? Yeah. Cheap usually tells people that you're getting a product that doesn't cost much, but it's not very good. It's cheap in price, but as far as the quality goes, lights out.
That you
nailed it.
Yes.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
I nail it. Anyway.
And so did Micallef.
Boom. Ba-da-da-da. Anyway, I'm smoking the Viva La Vida Jester. And the funny thing is, we did a show last week, and that's where I started smoking as well. I will be changing cigars, though, during the break. So I'm going to dive into the humidor and see what I pull out.
There's 3 cigars left in that humidor.
Oh, no. You're mistaken. You are mistaken. Anyway, a little bit later, we're going to have Laure from Micallef on. She's always a fun interview. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know a female in the cigar industry that is just straight up, this is who I am. I kick ass. I take names. And it's just a good time.
If you don't like it, keep walking.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, she's not trying to impress people. She's not making excuses. I like to say Lauren is a badass.
Lauren keeps it real.
Yeah.
She kept it very real.
Very cool. Yeah. Very cool, down to earth.
Yeah, but that was a good time. That was a good time. And meeting her, that was quite the experience.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to say right now, if I was to name off everybody that we interviewed for Micallef, Lauren comes in a solid number 2 behind Al.
Yes. Yeah.
Al just cranks it out of the park because when you've been around that long and you've been as successful and lived all the experiences, like you're just a badass.
Yeah. But I like how he seems so humble too, though.
Oh, 100%. Like he's like, yeah, that's not the way it was back then. If I was starting over today, it would be completely different. So yeah, he's just a down to earth dude. And I mean, that reflects in his whole team of people at Micallef. And I'm going to quit raving about Micallef. You guys know I love Micallef. But seriously, when you go there and you see what they do, you're like, this is why they are successful.
Yep.
And it starts at the very top, and it goes all the way down to the bottom.
I think it does. It does. It most definitely does. There's such an attitude of almost like family there.
Oh,
and everybody,
community, family. And it's like the family is extended beyond just, let's just say they're ambassadors, because they made the commitment. And, you know, the day we recorded the interviews, it was Micallef Independence Day, which was the day they quit allowing online stores to sell Micallef products, which is a commitment to the brick and mortar. And to me, like, I know a lot of different cigar companies that talk the talk, but Micallef leads by example by walking the walk, and they're not full of shit.
Yep.
I've heard other companies say, oh, we don't allow our cigars to be sold online. And then I see their cigars for sale online, and then their response is, well, we didn't say that was okay. Okay, well, Micallef said, if you try to sell our cigars online, we're going to sue your ass. And they put a stop to it. That's a different level of commitment.
They're about the brick and mortars.
Boom.
And that's what keeps us going. The brick and mortar shops, that's what really keeps us going. That's where the community really is.
That's where the community is built.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, you think back 5 years ago, I don't even think we were hanging out 5 years ago. I don't think we knew each other 5 years ago.
It seems like longer.
It seems like 50 for you.
Yes.
For me, it's like yesterday. But then again, everything is.
Every day's like yesterday for Rob.
Every day's a new day is what my wife says. She's like, it must be nice just waking up to a new day every day. And I'm like, I don't know what you mean.
She's an angel.
She is. Can you imagine? Do you realize that next week we will have been together for 29 years?
That's amazing.
I mean, it's like, you know, I don't even know, because I'm not that person that could tell you like all the saints, you know.
Yeah.
But my wife should be added to that list.
I agree 100%. I'm surprised you can even say saint.
Saint. Wow. Why?
Because you're Rob.
Well, I mean, it's very balancing to have the saint and the sinner.
But there's nothing on fire around you.
Right?
Saying that. Yeah.
Yeah, you know me. I'm like, people are like, you better be careful. You're going to hell. I'm like, you know what? My wife's got a +1. She shows up. Peter's like, all right, you're in. Oh, yeah, you can get 1 in. You sure you want to use it on that guy?
We're talking eternity now.
I'm like, hey, if I can just get my foot wedged in. I'm like, wait. Sorry. Anyway, we're going to jump into, let's talk a little bit about Tabanero.
Oh, Tabanero.
Tabanero is another boutique cigar company. They don't make a million whatever cigars a year. They are very boutique, and they care about the quality. And let me tell you, when I'm spending $10 to $12 on a cigar, I expect the quality. And I am very disappointed in how many times I reach out and try a new cigar that doesn't have the quality, the construction, the quality control that Tabanero and Micallef have.
You said Tabanero. They test draw the cigar.
So does Micallef. They both. So have you ever seen it?
No.
There's like a glass tube that they like put the cigar on one end and then they put a tube on the other end. And so whenever they're test drawing it, it's before they put the wrapper on.
Right.
It's just the binder and the filler. And so they put it on and it measures the airflow through the cigar. And so I don't know. You know who else does that is Perdomo. Perdomo also test draws every cigar. I don't understand why that's not the standard.
You know, so I smoke Perdomos from time to time. I smoke Micallefs. I smoke the Tabaneros. I've never had a bad one. Any of those three, I've never had a bad one.
Yeah,
And
because
that says something about it.
I've never had a problem with all three of those cigars as far as construction. And I don't even understand. No, look in that little Ziploc bag or look in this box. We got Hatch over here digging through the remnants of what's left in our skimpy little. Okay, there you go.
Fumbling
She's
around.
going with the Mildias. And that's a great cigar. And that actual size, I think that's the 5.5 by 46. Excellent. Excelente. Woo!
I didn't realize you were bilingual.
Either did my cousin who's half Spanish. Whew. Anyway, let's tell everybody what we're drinking.
The Early Times.
Bottle and Bond. Cheers, brother.
Cheers.
And so a lot of you guys may not know, but Larry's an alcoholic. No.
I've never been to a meeting.
No, I was just going to say, actually, I was joking about that. Larry is not alcoholic, but Larry has had a big hand in making me into an alcoholic.
I do what I can.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Effort goes a long ways with me.
That's right.
Potential, also long ways.
Yeah.
I see a lot of potential in you.
I don't see much in you.
My dad used to say, he's got a lot of quit in him. So.
Drinking the Early Times Bottled and Bond.
And it's a premier bourbon that a lot of people don't know.
Yeah, it's a sleeper. People don't know about it, and
we're okay with that.
Yeah.
We shouldn't be telling anybody.
Either they should or we'll keep it to ourselves. This is a great bourbon, and the price point is fantastic.
Ooh, it's good on the wallet.
Such a value.
And I'll tell you this. If you think about like Heaven's Door. No. Heaven
Hill?
No, Heaven and Hill. Heaven and Hill Ball and Bond. It used to be under $20. Now you're lucky if it's 45. And you know what? When they jacked it up to 45, a lot of people were pissed. Yeah. Because they had been drinking it for a long time.
Yeah. Yep.
And so I have a feeling that one day that's what's going to happen with us in the early times. I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah, I want you to be wrong. I want you to be wrong.
Right.
I want you to be wrong.
I mean, if they jacked it to $30, I'd still buy it over a lot of the $30 to $40 bottles.
I would too.
Especially at the liter size.
Yes. I remember one time I bought a bottle of Early Times, and you said, "Oh, Early Times, I've been wanting to try that." And I said, "Rob, we've drank like 4 bottles of it already."
That's not true, folks.
That is true. 100%.
All right, fine.
But you can't go. You can't go wrong. The Early Times has to be the Bottled and Bond. We've never tried the other one.
We should try it sometime because you know what? The Bottled and Bond bottle is so over the top good at its price point. It makes me wonder if maybe we're missing out by not trying the other.
Yeah, you may be right.
You know what I mean? Just to give it a try.
Yeah, just.
I mean, we've drank worse. We already know.
That's true.
And
13 Arrows.
13 Arrows, local distillery here that they don't have any booze in barrels, so it's hard for me to say they're a distillery. But they took somebody's bourbon and they mixed them together with somebody else's bourbon, and they came up with the 13 Arrows. And I took half a drink. And I was like, hey, somebody else want this bottle? I'm done with it because it was not good. You were there.
Yes, I was. But I'm not even sure if they actually call that bourbon. I think they just call it whiskey.
I don't care what they call it. They should call it "Don't buy this." Because I mean, and now to be fair, the only reason I bought it was because I was at one of those liquor stores where the salesperson was all up in your business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's like, "Oh, have you tried this?" "No, I haven't." "Well, have you tried this?" "Well, this one's local." When they say that, it's like, all right, I got to try it because you said the local.
It's local. We want to support local.
I support local. And so I bought it, and I felt like I supported local that day. You know what I mean?
And never again.
No, I support other locals, just not that one.
Yes, I mean,
Yeah.
that one particular local. No, we're not doing that.
Right, we're not doing that.
I was in one of the local establishments, one of the stores here, and somebody told me, "Oh, if you've not tried this very old Barton, it's a really, really great bourbon."
Did you buy it?
I got her. No, I did not.
Because, I went to Philo's, and one of the guys was like, oh, and, he was pointing out all these different bourbons. And when I go into a bourbon shop, I already know what I'm looking for. And if there's something new I don't know, I'll ask you.
Yeah.
I don't need a tour. But this guy was like, oh, you ought to buy this old Barton's granddad something. I don't know what the fuck it was, but it was a gallon or a half-gallon bottle. And it was $19, and I was like, "There's no way that can be good. That is too much liquor for not enough money for it to be good." And he said to me, "If you don't like it, I'll buy it back." I opened it, I poured me a glass, and I took a sip, and I handed the bottle to someone else and said, "Hey, you can take that home with you."
Yeah, that was me. And it's still
You're
there.
welcome. You're welcome, Larry.
And it's still there. Was not a fan.
It was first of all, it was the floral bouquet of flowers grown at a sewage treatment center.
Ooh.
It was not good.
No, it was not at all.
And if you like it, Larry has a bottle he can send you. Because that was a long time ago.
Yes, it
And
was.
it's still available.
And it's in my house.
And liquor is when liquor goes into Larry's house, it's scared. It's sweating bullets.
Endangered species.
Yes.
Usually. No,
Yeah.
this was not good. It was not good.
Huh. So I'm interested. We're going to jump right in. You know what? Let's do Case Elegance right quick.
Case?
I mean, you have had some products from Case Elegance.
I have.
And what is your opinion about Case Elegance as a humidor company?
So as far as the humidors, all I know is what I've heard you talk about. And I'm looking at that military style footlocker there, and that is a beautiful humidor. And
To me, that's one of the top, 5 best looking humidors in the entire market.
I don't know if I've seen one that I like that much.
I agree. I don't, but somebody might be like, "Oh, I don't like glass," because some people are funky that way.
I like the glass top because I like to be able to walk by and
I like to be able to see what I want to
see
get
what's in there
before I
you
open it.
Yes, exactly.
Because I don't want to open it and be deciding on what I want then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What I think you should do is probably pour yourself about 5 more drinks, and then I'll see if I can get that humidor under my shirt before I leave here tonight, because that's a good-looking humidor there.
Hey, I'll drink 5 more drinks, but that means you're going to.
Oh, okay. All right.
Woohoo!
Mine will be really small.
It's going to be good, not tonight.
No,
So-
I got the little travel case, the Holz 5 sticks.
Oh,
Got a place for
the
the cutter.
supple
Yes,
leather.
that leather is so supple.
It is.
I like the word supple.
I do too. It makes me think of breasts.
Can I have some bourbon?
Oh, absolutely. I didn't know you were out.
I'm always out.
What'd you say about an alcoholic over there, Hatch?
He is an alcoholic.
Yes. So, guys, hey, welcome back. Are we doing the show right now? Are we talking? Are we going?
We're
Yeah,
talking.
we're in the middle of it. All right, cool. Well, you know what? Cheers.
Cheers.
And we are, you know what? Let's jump into the pick 6. I'm going to let you do your 3. I'll do my 3. Dude, you smoke a lot of good cigars. You don't act like you do. You act like you're always like sucking hind tit when it comes to different cigars, but you smoke a lot of good cigars.
Well, the first one I'd have to say is this Micallef A.
Micallef Black.
Yeah, black. Ooh, I said A. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you did. That's okay. I fixed it.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that. I know Rob is always here for me.
Boom.
This is my first time doing this. This Micallef Black, fantastic cigar. They knocked it.
And under $8.
They knocked it out of the park with this cigar.
Yeah,
They knocked it out of the
100%.
park with this. I've enjoyed a couple of these, and today is only Monday. I've enjoyed a couple of these this week. You know, I like the CAO flatheads. That's 660.
Oh, I know you do. I know you do.
That's 660.
And that is like one of your signature cigars.
That's one of my
like
go-tos.
the Medallia's mine. Like I know you for the Flathead 660.
Yes, yeah.
And I think that's a great stick.
That
I normally don't like the 6x60s, but with that box press, it evens it out.
Yeah.
For me, I can handle it.
Yeah, that's a good one. And of course, that 554 is good too.
Of
CAO, the 554. I gave you one.
That was a 554?
A couple of weeks ago, I gave you one.
Okay.
You smoked
Okay.
that thing
Yeah,
for
yeah, yeah,
2
yeah.
hours.
Yeah. That was I'm a fan of the CAO flathead line.
Yes.
Except for that V21, I was actually never a fan of that cigar.
I thought it would have more punch to it. And
It was too mellow.
It was
I mean-
very mild.
Like when you do the 660 or the 770, like I smoked the 770 the day I bought this house, and I sat on the front porch, and I had actually bought that cigar like a month before the closing.
Yeah.
We finally closed, and buying a house is a pain in the ass.
Yes, it is.
I mean, it's just for a guy that doesn't want to do a lot of paperwork, it's a big deal.
And you're signing, and you're
Right.
signing, and you're signing, and you're
So anyway, I had saved a Flathead 770 for about a month, and finally when we moved in, the first night I had my chair out on the front patio, and I just smoked that cigar, and I was like, hell yeah.
Were you still smoking it the second night? Because that's a lot.
That's a lot of cigar. I mean, you're going to be a 2.5 hour smoke
Yeah.
most of the time. Yeah. If you smoke it down to like in the middle of where the band would be, that's a 2.5 hour smoke.
Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, it's a good smoke though. It's a
Yeah,
good smoke.
absolutely. Well, good list, dude. See, I told you smoke damn good cigars. So my list this week is, first of all, the Caldwell King is Dead.
Oh, that's a good smoke.
I'm a fan, and I had it in the 5.5 by 46, which is perfect for me. And I don't smoke as much Caldwell as I think I probably should. But when I do smoke a Caldwell, that's my go-to. That one and the Mad Mofo.
Yeah, I know you
with
like the
AJ.
Mad Mofo, yeah.
And then second this week was the AJ blended Monte Cristo Espada. The black band with the gold.
Oh, yeah.
It's a great cigar. Great cigar. And then my last stick for this week, I'm going to go out on a limb here because it's not I'm not now these are not cigars that I'm saying that you should go smoke.
Right.
I'm just saying that these are the ones I enjoyed the most this week. And someone that's going to probably freak out and say, this is not an aromatic cigar. It's not a infused cigar. But the Kentucky Fire Cured by, what's that acid company name?
Drew Estate.
Drew Estate cigar. The Kentucky Fire Cured. And you know what? That's not a go-to cigar for me. That's not a cigar I would smoke all the time. But when you've had 5 or 6 cigars and you light that cigar up when your palate is just burnt, it's like refreshing because all of a sudden I can taste that fire cured. It's like someone made beef jerky into a cigar. You know what I mean? And I love those, but there's probably spread out between 3 to 6 months in between.
Yeah.
But-
I've had one of those. It was different.
It was
I enjoyed
very
it.
different.
It was
And
quite
the
different.
first time I smoked it, I really didn't care for it. It took me probably about 3 times. And the only reason I kept going back to it was because it was so different than all the other cigars. But at the same time, it wasn't a sweet, like infused cigar. It was like, I feel like I'm At a barbecue.
I was going to say it's smoky.
It's
Kinda,
smoky?
It reminds you. The one that I smoked, it did remind me of being at a barbecue.
100%.
I enjoyed it though.
Yeah.
I did enjoy
And so, like I said, I don't have them very often. It's probably closer to 6 months in between them. But every now and then I like to pull one of those out and I'm like, oh, yeah.
I might have to try one tomorrow.
There you go. So anyway, guys, we've got Lauren up next and we'll have an interview with her. You're not going to want to miss that. And then when we come back, Hatch is going to join us, and we're going to do the Micallef Minute, and she's cooking up some crazy trivia for you to play.
Potassium.
I hope it's more exciting than the 4 minerals or something that we did last week, but you know what? That's on her. Anyway, guys, we'll be right back after a quick break.
Women in this industry can be multidimensional.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
we
100%.
can be hot and then also efficient and funny, and I don't have to diminish, I guess, the energy I'm putting, like, because, like, I feel like sometimes some women get in this industry and they're thinking, well, I have to wear a burqa in order to be respected in this industry. You can do.
I don't know what a burqa is.
Okay, so so you're like seemingly looking like a lampshade half the time. You're just all covered up.
Oh. No, you
in
don't
order
want
to
to
be
do that.
respected, you can do all the things, and it's
Yeah.
totally fine. Like, you don't have to diminish, I guess, your inner light, or I guess I want to say your hotness, in order to be respected in this industry.
I had a young woman that wrote cigar reviews for us for probably a little over a year. And she would post photos smoking the cigar she was doing a review on, but it was on our webpage. Cigar Reviews by Jamie. Pretty young woman.
Mm-hmm.
And someone reached out to me from another show and was like, hey, man, I don't think you should work with her. She is too provocative. And I was like,
It's so easy for a woman to get labeled as provocative. That's like what's really irritating about it.
yeah. And first of all, I'm like, no, she's I'm like, all right. First of all, you don't call me and tell me who I'm going to work with.
Exactly.
I picked this person because I value the cigar reviews straight up. And if she happens to be attractive, I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're not even recording. I mean, we
Well, I
are,
know.
but this
Well, I could go on a tangent about this because I thought
can this be part of the show?
oh, fuck yeah.
Okay. Well, then we are recording. I was like,
No,
don't worry, I'll delete this. Fuck no.
Because I feel like as a woman, you're always thinking about like
Judgment.
what image you're putting out there all
For who?
the
For
time.
who?
I think it's just everyone because you're always getting criticism or feedback.
But don't you think it should be just how you feel about yourself? We don't care about what those people say.
I mean, okay, so for
Now,
starters,
you live in a corporate world. I understand it's a little
yeah.
different.
No, I feel like because I'm 35, so like you're always like as a mature adult, you're always like looking at feedback and taking it and like, okay, there's certain things I can work on, but at the same time, at the end of the day, it's like, this is who I am, this is who I'm going to project, and I'm very confident. Like, you can like filter it out more than you could when you're younger, because younger it's just like this whole onslaught of criticism and
See, are you
taking it
serious?
personally,
Are you
and-
serious?
What do you mean serious?
When you were younger, you had all that?
Oh yeah, all the time. Like I'm a loud bitch, so you're always gonna get a lot of feedback.
No, I like
Feedback,
that, but
yeah.
you know that's so foreign to me because growing up, I had none of that.
Oh, I had a lot of it. Definitely, you shouldn't act like that. You shouldn't talk like that. The way you said this, people took it the wrong way. So, I mean, at the same time, I mean, I feel like it has shaped me, like, in certain ways of social skills. I think it has given me a lot of benefit. But at the same time, like, you do have to finite that filter where you're getting to a point where you're like, okay, well, that's just noise. This is how I'm going to do it. And this is the right path to go on.
Well, you know what? I can't say that it never happened
Mm-hmm.
because when I was in junior high, I dressed crazy. Okay,
Oh, so did I.
I wore parachute pants. I wore a black leather belt with silver studs all the way around it.
Oh, see, I went through that phase too.
Yeah.
That came back when I was well, I know there's an age difference, but like I remember in my high school era, it was like multiple belts. And then I thought I was like one of the edgy kids. So I would wear like leggings and then shorts. Or
Now that was in
you know.
junior high.
Junior to high school for sure, and then cut off gloves with like the fingers and did all that stuff.
I didn't know y'all did that because that was a Madonna thing.
I think Avril Lavigne.
She started it.
See, Avril Lavigne came back, and then it was the ties. So I did wear a lot of men's ties, like over clothes. Oh yeah,
Madonna did that.
I know. And Madonna was great. Like there was an '80s phase.
I mean, I'm not a huge Madonna fan, but I celebrate the fact that I am a lot like her, and the fact that I've never given a fuck what anybody thinks about me.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's like the thing is, like, you can't fit in, so you might as well just be different, right?
I don't want to fit in.
No.
I want to go have fun.
Mm-hmm.
I was at a conference not a few weeks ago, and it was a regular job thing, and they were like, hey, at this point in the conference, what is it that you have done best? What is it you want to do, and what do you want to do better? My first answer was I was best at having fun.
Yeah.
What do I want to do better? I want to have more fun. And what do you think will be the biggest takeaway? I had fun. If I'm having fun, I learn. If I'm having fun, I make progress. You take away the fun, I'm out.
Yeah.
But I'm also ADHD.
That's okay. I am too.
Awesome.
I know. We felt like we know. It's like we speak a certain dialect, which is very similar.
I enjoy that.
It's like you recognize that person from across the room. You're like, I know you.
Yeah, you're like, hey, I know what you're going through. So anyway, we're going to shift gears here. Thank you so much for coming up during the open house and hanging out with us and being on the show.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Thank
you for having me here.
Oh, no.
It's always humble flattery for me.
Whatever. We are always happy to have you. Last interview you were on the show, it was awesome. Thank you for that.
Oh, yeah.
I loved it. And so, you know what I love about having you on is I don't know what you're going to say because you're a loose cannon. And I would attribute that. Now I should be like, I already knew you had ADHD because you have no filter.
I don't. But amazing. I have actually
Like,
built.
what do y'all really want to know?
I really have built a filter over the years. So, like, I can't imagine what I would be like with no filter.
Yeah.
I'd just be like chaos everywhere.
You know, a lot of people think I don't have a filter, and I'm like, if you only knew. Because, the thoughts that go through my head, or some of them are like,
They're terrible. Well, I mean, they're not.
have you been in prison? Because that's what some people think. They're like, you should be.
It's a lot of swear words and just a lot of verbal diarrhea on my end, for sure.
100%. So, hey, how long have you been at Micallef now, total?
I think it's like over 2 years now. Like just over 2 years. Because like this is my third open house.
Oh, nice. This
Yeah.
is only my second. I didn't get to come the first one because I couldn't get down.
Yeah. The first one was interesting. And then it's like the second one I did a lot of the planning for. And this third one I had a lot of help with. So now it's like kind of enjoying.
Now you're enjoying it more.
Yes.
And it's coming into its own.
Yeah.
By year 10, you'll be like, hey, we're going to be doing an open house and I need y'all to get all that shit ready.
Well, it's funny because like I wasn't stressed out about this one. And I'm like, is that a bad sign? Does that mean I don't care?
You know what's funny is
I don't care anymore.
I can see it.
Yeah.
I can see it. It's much more relaxed for everybody.
Yeah. It's almost like a habit. Like you're just like, okay, we gotta plan this.
Yeah,
gotta
we're
get
gonna do
going.
this.
Like all the photo wall outside. Like I
love those, by the way.
hunted down all the photos, but I did it like 6 months in advance, and then I did another revision and another revision. So like that was in such like a desperate like grab to get all
That's
those
the
photos.
last second.
And the printer probably thanks me because I'm sure I pissed off our printer last year because I was like 2 weeks before, like a week before, can you get this all printed out for me? Thanks, bye. And now it's like, here you go. Month in advance.
I'm concerned. I just noticed you're drinking a drink with a lemon in it, and I have to say, what is that?
I think it's like our old fashioned. So we like made like a little menu outside. Like, this is called the Lajero, but I'm pretty sure it's just a modified old fashioned.
Are you a old fashioned fan?
I love old fashioned.
Okay. See, I don't. I'm a more of a purist.
Yeah. You like the holistic approach to drinking?
I wouldn't call it that, but sure, we'll go with that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you know what? I just want to drink something good. I don't want ice. I don't want it chilled. I want it room temperature, as long as room temperature is not above 75.
I'll drink anything, honestly.
I knew that about you.
Yeah, except like,
You're like tequila? Hell yeah, bring it on.
tequila, like vodka. I love vodka. I love beer. I love White Claw. Like, I like it all. Like, I'm not.
Is White Claw beer?
No,
Oh.
it's a basic bitch drink, but I'm kind of a basic bitch, so it's fine.
Yeah, but you're not a basic bitch. That's one of the many things you are.
Well, as they always say, you don't go whole basic. Just a little basic is fine.
Yeah,
it's pumpkin
yeah.
spice latte season now, so I had my pumpkin spice
Oh
latte
my
yesterday.
God.
And I was like, oh my God, this is pairing so well with cigars right now, and I totally had it, and it was amazing.
You ever been to Denny's?
No. Well, no, Denny's, yes, back in the day.
Okay.
Haven't revisited.
I went and had Denny's last week, and I see this picture of pancakes that look amazing, and it looks like they have like some kind of like caramel syrup across the top, and these pancakes have like chocolate chips in it. And I'm like, you know what? That might be amazing.
That's like such a shirt.
But I didn't have my glasses on, and then when I put my glasses on, that's not what it was. It was pancakes with chunks of something that had to do with pumpkin spice, and what was on top of it was some glaze for pumpkin spice. And I was like, no!
Why are you guys so opposed to pumpkin spice? I don't understand it.
It's too much.
It's amazing.
It's too much.
It's amazing.
All right.
It's like you're just like delving into fall, especially since we just got rid of like that 100-degree kick here in Texas. Like, we're on the verge.
I forget where you're originally from.
I'm originally from Chicago.
And so does this Texas heat just suck?
I know. I'm a skinny bitch, so I can deal with the heat very well. Like, very well. But like this heat this time, such a just oppressive.
It's a drain.
It was too long. It was just too long.
Yeah, I don't know about here, but my hometown, we had 53 days of over 100.
It was nauseous.
I tell people that from usually the end of May to the 1st of September, I actually hate Texas.
Yeah. I mean, this is the most intense summer because I've lived here for like 3 years now. This is the most intense summer we've had.
Ugh, it's not fun. Now, I don't do the cold either.
No, terrible at cold. Like, I just don't miss those things about Chicago at all. I don't miss like walking outside, praying your car is going to start because it's so cold out and the battery's just dead.
I've never dealt with that.
I've dealt with it. It's character building. You feel like you survived something. It's great.
It's an accomplishment.
It is. I feel like that's why a lot of like Midwesterners like, yeah, like got it through.
So let me ask you this though: in Chicago, do you have people that die from the cold?
Oh, definitely. I bet
Oh, okay.
So. Well, okay.
I mean,
so
I bet,
remember,
or you. I don't want you to assume.
I'm sure
You have no knowledge on that.
Well, I remember one year it was like the.
Could somebody
coldest-
fact check that, please, with a phone, a Google
People
look?
died from the cold.
Has anyone died in Chicago during the winter? I want to know. You know, that's what we need. We need a fact checker.
But I remember one year. This is when I used to work at Aldi back in the day. It was in my 20s, and it was the.
I didn't even know Aldi had been around that long.
It's been a long time.
We just got our first one.
I love Aldi. I shop there all the time.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
No, but like it was the coldest. It was literally illegal to be out in the state of Indiana. And Illinois was like, no, you should go out. You should go to work. I went to work that day.
It was illegal
It was
to go
illegal.
outside?
It was so cold. It was like record temperatures.
Like ballpark.
Oh, it was, I don't know.
Minus 60.
It was below like God's taint. I don't know. It was terrible. It was just terrible. Like, and I remember like putting up and like going in my car. It was so slow that day because like no one was there. I ended up going home early, but it was terrible.
So a few years ago, the company I worked for, they were having a lot of issues with weather up in Nebraska. And I went up there for like 8 or 9 days. And the entire time I was there, the high was -1. But on average, it was normally minus 21 to 23.
Oh, Jesus, that's awful.
And you know what I did? I was at a cigar shop all day smoking
That
cigars.
sounds like a perfect way to
Because I went, it was me and another guy. And it was like, when we got there, he was like, hey, you want to be daylights or nights? And I was like, I want to be nights.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, oh, cool. Because he wanted to work days. And he didn't know that after he took, turnover from me, I didn't go back to my hotel. I drove 2 hours to another town where they had a badass cigar lounge, and I would smoke cigars and drink coffee all day.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
It was awesome. It was Paul's Lounge in Hastings, Nebraska.
Oh.
Nice little, and it was so cool because the lounge was like, all their downtown was like built in like 1905 to 1915. But you had to go downstairs at the street level to go to like the door that goes into the shop. So it was like in the basement of a bank. And so they had the vault of the bank in the basement, and they had made that into their humidor.
Oh, that's so cool.
Cool
That's
place.
So cool.
And all the walls were just the brick that has been there since they built that place in 1903.
Oh man, I love places that have a lot of history to
Oh, it was cool. And they had great coffee. They had, they didn't have a big selection of cigars, but they had good cigars.
Mm-hmm.
And every day I would haul ass over there and smoke for like 4 hours, and then I would drive home and go to bed for like 4 hours.
Oh, I love that. Well, I'm doing more outside sales now, so like I get to.
Are you really?
Yeah, I am. So now like I'm actually visiting more shops in the DFW area, so it like gives me a really good chance to like. It's like actually a reminder to why I love this industry so much.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
So you guys don't sell cigars online.
Yeah.
Do you sell cigars to a local CI?
What do you mean like a local state? No.
Well, I heard they built a local CI in Fort Worth.
Well, yeah, they did like 3 years ago, and I actually worked at one. That was the one I actually.
Oh, that's where you worked.
That's where I worked.
I've never been to one.
Mm-hmm. So I worked there, and that's how Al Micallef found me, and that's how he hired me. So like,
okay.
yeah.
So y'all don't sell cigars though to the local CI?
No, because I feel like, well, CI is just like a huge change. So I feel like it's just you sell to one, you sell to all of them. So I don't think it's not like a franchise or anything. It's too much.
No, it's a corporation.
Yeah, definitely a corporation.
So, I mean, you don't sell cigars for them to sell online. I just didn't know if you sold cigars to them to sell local.
No, even if they do have like, actually, can you pass me here later? I guess.
Oh, absolutely. I thought you were asking for my drink, and I was like, we can get you one.
I want another drink. But they shouldn't have any stock of us anymore.
Okay. Well, yeah.
At the time, we were selling their Micallef's Bold line. We weren't selling the Legacy line. But the breakup happened actually when I was working at CI.
That's today.
Yeah, I know.
That's Independence Day.
It is Independence Day.
Because
Marvelous day.
I had Dan on earlier, and he was saying it's Independence Day. Did you know that? And I was like, I guess I didn't. I don't know when Independence Day was, but I didn't know. And it turns out for America, it was March 4th. Didn't know that. It's like, I just thought we shot off fireworks over there.
Yeah.
So anyway, going out into the field now.
Mm-hmm.
You loving that?
I like that a lot, actually.
Because you're a people person.
Yeah, and I've done sales before, so it's kind of like getting back out there, kind of like stomping the ground a little bit, getting to know, actually, like just I don't know, it's just like it's like having the culture back in your face again, And people are so.
Well, did you feel like because you weren't doing that you were kind of losing touch with that part of the business?
I think, yeah, in a way.
I mean, I would think so.
Yeah, in a way, because like you deal with more of the back end and the frustrations of the back end, and you're kind of disconnected from people too.
I do that a lot. I get to where I am disconnected, so I relate because I have my own smoke lounge. Part of my studio is there's just a smoke lounge, stereo, TV, cigars, booze. And so it's easy for me to go, you know what, I don't want to go anywhere.
Well, it kind of like makes that, I want to say that nuanced opinion about how cigar smoking can be very solitary, but it's also a very community experience.
Right. And so here's the bad thing is I'm in there by myself a lot, but I also invite a lot of people over a lot.
Yeah, so you create your own community.
Leave. You'll have to come down.
I will have to come down.
We don't have it completely done yet because I went in with one strategy and then I flipped it to something else. And on the car ride up here, I flipped it again.
I guess we set up the smoke alarm here at corporate.
Yeah, but we're not going to run because we're not scared. You know what? Worst case scenario, a fire does break out.
We're on one name basis with us fire department here.
Oh, there you
we
go.
just give them cigars like, hey, thanks for coming by. Here's some cigars.
Do they come by every time that goes off?
It does. They do.
Nice.
I think they like coming by, honestly.
Well,
I mean, it's
yeah.
a fun trip. It's not like a lot of work. And
They see this address and they're like, don't worry about the water, guys.
God damn, Micallef Cigars.
Bring some bourbon. So What different shops do you love in Fort Worth?
So, I mean, I've done it for a couple weeks. I haven't really done a lot.
So you haven't been to all of them?
Not all of them, of course. There's a few of them that I have seen. We just opened up with Denton Cigar Company, a really good cigar lounge. And that's in Denton, Texas.
Who owns that?
Well, Ken is my main point of contact. I cannot pronounce the owner's name.
Is one of the owners Chris?
I forgot his name, honestly.
Okay. We'll get back to that. Do you know Dave? I don't. Okay.
Well, Ken Chada, he's the manager there, and I actually used to work with him in CI, and he's fantastic. But it's like a really great cigar lounge, really great demographic of people there. And like they're always hopping every Thursday. And so every time I go down there, it's just like I have fantastic conversations.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good.
Pass that over there. There's Tobacco Cabana, which is over in Cedar Hill. Madonna.
I've never been there.
Oh, it's great. It's like they always say it's like the best kept secret in Cedar Hill. Like you show up and it's kind of like it looks kind of sketchy on the outside. And you're like, I don't know, like, and then you walk in and it's like this beautiful, like
nice,
so clean. It's just such a great cigar lounge, great people there. And then also where have I been as well? There's Lake Worth, owned by Junior.
I've never been there, but I've heard such good things about it.
Great humidor.
I want to go do a show there.
You need to. Like, it's just a great humidor there. Like Junior is fantastic. It's been like we're just growing there as a brand there.
And that isn't that the shop that like their members area? They have key cards.
Yeah. So it's like all night access. So
How would
like,
that be, Larry? Be dangerous as fuck, but yeah, it would be nice.
Yeah. So like I've done some cold calling, getting my feet wet with that. So that's fun. And everyone's been super nice.
That's very cool. And so, like, even before you went back out into the field, have you been to very many shops in the Fort Worth area, or was that kind of a new thing for you?
Not really, because I'm such a creature of habit. As soon as I find my lounge, that's what I go to. Like AME's are a local lounge, so that's like the one I would go to. I would go to Silverleaf and then some other ones. But like, honestly, like I just one-stop kind of person. Yeah, and we're all like that, right? We find our lounge, and it doesn't even have a name anymore. It's just the lounge. Like,
right.
I'm going to the lounge.
Like guys are like, hey, where you at? I'm at the lounge.
Exactly. So like that is very much me. So it's kind of like breaking that habit where I actually have to go and see more people and like deal with different types of people, different customer clientele. So it's a very great like diversity experience, and I love it. Like
that is awesome.
And it reminds you because like you get holed into an office all day, and you're like maybe making certain things. Oh, and I make content as well, so now I have other chances to ask.
And you get to make
Wild Cigar is great
content.
too. Wild Cigars is great too. And so like I'll go there and I'll be like, hey, can I film here? Can you help me film here? Like I need some customer
I love the opportunity to go somewhere.
Yeah.
Because even though I love being able to have my own studio, when you go out and do things, there's always new stories you didn't even know about.
No.
You know what I mean?
And then like, I was at Denton Cigar Company and I was talking to...
Is that in Denton?
Yes, in Denton.
Okay.
I was talking to a defense attorney. So we were talking about all his experiences and his stories. And that's what I love about cigars. Because like you just meet people you would never have access to on a daily basis. And you get to hear all their stories, their perspectives on things. And it's just so fascinating. And you get a chance to kind of, I guess, live other lives, if that makes sense.
Oh, 100%.
Like you have access to that. And so you're just like, oh, wow, that's so fascinating. And
100%.
And I just love it. And it just, and I feel like a lot of people, especially, it's funny. We were talking about this the other day. We're talking about like previous to COVID and post COVID. Like that's how we're identifying the time now.
No, that is a time. Yeah.
And so, and during COVID, I just like hated people. They were awful.
You're like, get away from me.
Awful. Didn't like them. Like, why do I even like people? I always considered myself a very social person. And then just like, I just felt like it was such a downfall of my personal opinion of them. And then getting back in the cigar industry just reminded me why I actually really like people and they're fantastic. I mean, collectively, maybe they're
yeah,
maybe not mob mentality, they're fantastic.
Not
but
everyone, but
individualistically, they're great,
I love meeting new people because I love hearing their stories. Like,
yeah.
Nobody's background life has been like mine. And the same goes for everyone. So I get to hear stories that I'm like, oh, that's badass.
Yeah, isn't it? And like you just get to pick their brain and like, well, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? Like, what is your perspective on this? And
100%. And so, yeah, I'm an extrovert to the nth degree.
mm-hmm.
And I love traveling. Just the other night, I checked into a hotel and she saw the sticker on the back of my phone. She was like, what's Cigar Talk? And I was like, oh, I host a weekly cigar show, blah, blah, blah. I said, you smoke cigars? She's like, no. So she's like not interested, but she's like, I've really been wanting to do a podcast, but I just don't know what I would do one about. And I was like, how about all the crazy shit you've seen with customers checking into the hotel?
Oh my God.
And she was like, oh my God. And I was like, there you go. I said, I'm sure you've seen a lot of crazy shit.
You know, it's crazy. You actually gave me really good advice that I totally live by to this day. Like, I don't even know when you gave me this advice. I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago. But like, just to start doing it. Like,
go.
Yeah, just go. Go and do it. And I tell that
and that's what I told her.
I told everyone that. Like, anytime they want to get into any social content
just
creation.
do it
or
now.
anything,
now.
Just do it.
Don't
worry about the quality.
Plan. The quality will come.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you don't start, nothing will start.
That's why I give hats off to like Amanda, because Amanda came in my office and she's like, you're going to make reels for Instagram. And the perfectionist inside of me probably would have been like, no, it has to be a perfect idea and I have to do this and I have to do that. And then I just wouldn't have never done it. And that just throwing myself into it and then it's going to come.
And just so you know, Amanda is a badass in my book.
Yeah.
Like when I found out she was coming back to Texas, she and I were going to have a meeting. And before I met her, well, when I say meeting, a phone call, I researched her and I was like, holy fuck.
Yeah, it's crazy because no one thinks she has like any outside experience. They think like
her background is like badass.
They think her dad just gave her a job and that's what she's doing. And that's just
no,
what happened.
You know what? She left and kicked ass. And then her dad said, hey, why don't you come back and work for me? Because I see what the experience that you've built is why I want you. Not because you're my kid. You
know, that's actually one of the things that infuriates me about the cigar industry. People think when you're just new to the cigar industry, like you just like popped out of a petri dish and you're like fully formed. You're like, I'm going to get cigars and I don't do anything else.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I agree 100%. Like, I'll be the first one to say I'm not a cigar expert at all.
And that's fine.
I don't want to be an expert. You know what I want to be? I want to be the guy that enjoys the shit out of a cigar, and I can tell you about them. You can try them, but you know what? Just because I love it doesn't mean you love it.
Well, you're a professional talker, too, and that's actually a very much needed talent to have.
If you're doing podcast, it is. It happens to be a handy quality.
Yes.
But
imagine if you sucked at talking, you were doing this.
And yeah, you're like, oh. Well, it was like that. I told that girl, though, the advice I gave to you, I gave to that girl at the hotel. I'm always trying to help people do what they want to do. But when she said she wanted to do a podcast, I was like,
just do it, girl.
I said, you know what equipment you need? And she was like, well, I've looked and I really don't. I don't know for sure. And I'm like, my first episode was recorded on my phone. You know what I mean? Quit dicking around and thinking you have to have all this shit. Get started and you can get this later.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you don't start, you'll never need this. So it's always, you got to take that step. And if you don't, then you won't need anything.
You know, and it's funny too. I think people are always afraid about creating shitty content. But like, imagine all the people that have great ideas.
I've created a lot of shitty content.
I mean, too. Like, I don't create bangers every time. But like,
every once in a while you hit one out of the park and you're like, I'm proud of that.
Great idea. But then, like, imagine all the people that have the good ideas that just never created anything.
Oh, 100%.
Doesn't fucking matter.
100%.
Doesn't matter.
It's like, you know what? The most famous TikTok people have never signed up for TikTok because they're scared.
Yeah, and there's going to be a lot of people that are going to give you a lot of opinions about how you should be creating stuff. But, like, guess what? They're not doing shit.
Let me tell you something that I feel like I've solved on all content related to content. It's all bullshit. Like when people are like all these videos trying to teach you how to do shit, all of it is an advertisement for somebody.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
when you listen to my show, we talk about sponsors, Micallef, Tabadero, Case Elegance, but we do it in a way that these are our sponsors. We are talking good about them because we do love them, and they became sponsors because we begged them to please be our sponsors because we don't have to make up shit. We just love them.
Exactly.
But when I'm watching shows on audio equipment or how to do a better podcast or a better social media presence, it's like all of them are freaking being pushed by some app or some, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's like, I feel like you don't get any real legit information.
Well, I know. It's just they're just trying to monetize how to do something, which should always come from a genuine source of points, you know?
Right. And I guess maybe it's because I'm different in the fact that I helped a lot of cigar podcasts get off the ground because they were fans of our show, and I'm always a helpful person. I'm not holding anything back from you. You want to know? I'm happy to share with what I've learned. And to me, that's gold. If you can avoid the mistakes I made and not buy crappy equipment or do dumb shit with shitty cigar brands, like I didn't beg people to become my sponsor until I had a really shitty cigar sponsor.
Oh my God.
They sent us 8 boxes of cigars. I managed to smoke 3 and I gave the rest to Bryant, and Bryant smoked 2 or 3 and gave the rest away.
Oh no. See, that's always a nightmare, right? It's
Right.
It's hard telling their firstborn is ugly or that any baby's ugly.
But that was a lesson learned. It's like, hey, you know what? I don't want to smoke cigars I don't like, and I'm not going to do that. So instead of waiting for someone to reach out and say, hey, we'd like to sponsor your show, I got to go talk to people that I love their cigars.
Exactly.
That's how it works for us. It's like we've had lots of people since that experience reach out and be like, hey, man, what would it look like for us to be a sponsor for Cigar Talk? And I'm like, we are actually full right now.
Isn't that good though when you have to keep people away?
It is nice. It is nice.
Sorry.
And it's, but also like building the relationships is important to me. Like Micallef Cigars is our longest sponsor. Did you know that?
I think I've heard like kind of whispers of it.
Yeah.
wasn't sure.
I want to say you guys have been our sponsor since 2019
Oh, wow.
in the summer. And you know what's funny is my first meeting with Dan, Al, and back then there was another guy named Steve, was in this room. And I brought a presentation of Cigar Talk to them, and I let them flip through these pages. And at the end of this is what I remember, was first, yeah, we want to do this with you. But 2, I told them, so how's the presentation look? Because I'm that simple, okay? I made this for you guys. How do you like this presentation? Dan's like, it looks great. And I was like, so here's what you don't know. It was inspired by the, what is it? Dark Side of the Moon album cover of Pink Floyd. And he just looks at me, he's like, okay, cool.
Cool,
And
yeah.
I was like, see, I shouldn't have told that, but
Well, you're still here.
I'm right.
You're still here, so
You
it's
don't
fine.
get much more authentic than me.
Yeah.
Like I don't have any secrets much.
Well, I feel like social content creation, like you have to start from a point of authenticity, like
Right.
for sure. Like, or
And
else
then you
it's
have to maintain it.
That is always
The trick.
the monster in the room.
It is because
it's a lot of pressure.
you grow and you get to a level and then it's like, I don't want to keep doing all that legwork.
Well, it's just that. It's just like, I feel like the idea is, it's the muse. Like, where's the muse at? Like, is she always consistent, or is she just touch and go bitch like she usually is?
I'm happy to know that you use the word muse.
Yes, I do. I am a
Kudos.
slave to the muse.
Kudos to you.
Hey, people ask me, they're like, where do you get your ideas from? And I'm like, I'm a creative person, so I feel like naturally you're always you get an idea, and it's just like it's like problem solving. You're like, okay, we're going to do this and this. Maybe this won't work. Okay, this is a barrier, so we're going to create this idea around that. But it's like you get ideas from everywhere, from conversations, from time, like
it's experiences.
Yeah,
you modify that into like something creative.
Yeah, for one, like I can watch even other people's content. Like I'll watch that and I'll like get an idea, and then I'm like, oh my god, I'll marinate on it. I'm like, well, maybe I should do this instead of that, and then like.
I watched a TikToker not long ago. Are you on TikTok?
No, like I don't know. Like I'm kind of.
You're on Instagram.
Yeah,
so you realize that if you did TikTok, you can post and it automatically sends it to Instagram too.
I know, but TikTok can be. I've been like, especially in the cigar industry.
It's an animal.
Yeah, it is. It's more. They're very, like, very much enforcing against cigar content. So I'm a little nervous.
Are they really?
Yeah, like that's what I've heard. Like
a lot of my content's not cigars.
Yeah, so
a lot of my content is booze.
Mm-hmm.
And
which is fine. Or if you're talking
jokes.
about, or you're talking about gender theory, it's fine. But in terms of like,
you know what? I came up with this. On gender.
Yeah.
So I asked the one. Larry just said, "Oh fuck." He's shaking his head. No.
We can't talk about this.
I don't hold back on this because, first of all, I don't care what you want to do.
Mm-hmm. No.
My whole philosophy on life and politics is just leave me alone and I leave you alone.
That's why I like Texas. And I don't think people understand that, especially at COVID. I feel like we all struggle with that. If you wanted to live like that, suddenly you were this huge...
But there was a lot of people that was like, oh, you're doing it wrong, or you should be doing this, or I'm not doing this, and you're dumb for doing that. And it's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Everybody just needs to take a step back and be like, hey, you do you.
Exactly. And that's how I live my life.
Same.
That's my I guess my politic values is like, I just want to be left alone and do my own thing.
Yeah, the only time I get upset is if you fuck with my shit.
No, I get very territorial about that.
And then because you didn't give me my respect. You know what I mean? You don't fuck with my shit. That's all.
Yeah.
It's an easy golden rule for me.
Yeah. But like in terms of TikTok, like I guess I just have to get on it more. I guess it's just like
I like it and hate it.
Yeah. I mean, I do like Instagram treats me well in a way. I mean, even though I feel like they do suppress a lot of like tobacco content.
You know what I hate about TikTok? If you have a video with a song already rock and roll in the video and you post it, they'll take it down. But you can post the video with no sound and then add the same song from their group list.
Yeah, it's
and
ridiculous.
It's fine. And it's like, just let me do it. Because now, you know how hard it is to sync up a video with their audio?
No, I hate it. And that's why I don't like to use Instagram. Like I usually like use like an app and then I put it in there and they're like, well, the algorithm would be better if you put their music on there. And I'm like, yeah, but it doesn't sync up the way I want to.
Yeah,
so I don't want to use it.
Right. And when we use music, it has like stages of like bam, bam, boom. It hits.
You need to hit it at the right tempos at the right times.
I posted a video of, and it was like the song of Phil Collins, The Air in the Night, or what's it called? You know what I'm talking about. What's it called? In the Air Tonight.
Oh, okay.
Classic song.
Yeah.
But there's like this just singing going, and then all of a sudden you hear this drum out of nowhere, and it's just a drum, no guitars, just the drum. Dun, 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 dun. And at that point, I have a dude getting hit by a car. Well, if I use that same song from them, it doesn't sync up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it doesn't have the impact.
No.
Because this guy is stealing this from this woman. He jumps on this bike, and this car just comes raving at him and just drives right into him. But as he gets hit and he falls to the curb, the drums are coming in.
Yeah. You need that.
Exactly. You can't just do.
It's so important when you're editing. And once you get more into film editing, it's like everything is important. Like the speed of everything, slow down the speed, speed up the speed.
100%. Do you edit video?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Are you doing video editing on an app?
I do a little mix of both. Sometimes I do Premiere. Sometimes I do.
You use Premiere.
Yeah, I sometimes, depending on what it is. And then
how long have you been using Premiere?
like just this year.
Oh, that's awesome. I tried it a while, like 5 or 6 years ago, and it was very difficult to learn.
It's a lot of tutorials, a lot of Googling tutorials. That's like what I do. But like, I mean, I still do things like a very like, I guess, amateur level, but it's fine. Like it gets my point across. I mean, I have to do like I'm doing a reel where there's like a rap involved. So I have an app where you can create like a beat and a loop. And so I have to figure that out.
Well, that's impressive.
And it's like awkward white girl rapping, so it's gonna be hilarious. It's gonna be great.
But I'm impressed that you are creating your own loops, and I mean you're not creating a loop, but you're using the loops.
I'm not a music person, so like it'd be amazing if I had this person to do it for me. But I'm like, whatever, who cares? Like,
and really, to be honest with you, now that I've processed all of it, I shouldn't be that impressed. You're way younger than me. I would be impressed if I was using that app.
Yeah, well, I just like because like I had to make another reel where I had to create like a beat, and I was like, my lighter was out, so I was like creating a beat with it. So like, okay, I need music, and I had to integrate it. So I mean, that's the best part about this job. Like, it takes me out of my comfort zone.
You know what would be cool? I just had an idea because you inspired me.
Yeah.
We could make a cool beat with this.
Exactly. Well, I did that with a lighter that wasn't lighting.
This? Oh, well, yeah, but you hear the flame makes another sound.
No, that'd be amazing. And now I gotta make it funny.
It almost sounds like the intro to a 9 Inch Nails song. You know the Animal song?
Probably I do. I just don't know it.
That sounds like that sound. Anyway, sorry, you got me going.
No.
When you get into a creative process,
it's all problem solving. It really is.
Yeah, we should have meetings like every so often.
I know. Like I'm doing that with Wild now, where like his social media, he's like, we need to meet. We need to like come up with ideas and stuff. And I'm like, oh, that'd be great. Like,
yeah.
And I have more people coming up to me now and be like, hey, we should like work on some ideas or social media. And
well, you know what I find that so many other cigar podcast hosts are not creative.
I find that very surprising, though.
Me too. But when I talk to them, it's like they're good at doing the podcast, but they're not into the creativity and the artistic whatever or creating content. Their niche is just the podcast. And I mean, that's cool. That's cool. But
I mean, good for them because like, I mean, I feel like it is a certain performance art to doing a podcast and like, or like just, I don't know, like people have asked me to do voiceovers and then autocorrect my voice. So I'm just like, I don't have a great voice. I know it's fine. It's fine. I'm okay with it. But there's a level of that takes a lot of talent and consistency. So like, I don't know, like creativity though, I don't think it can be really taught.
No.
And
I mean, I think if you're not creative, you can learn how to be a painter, but you're not going to be doing inspirational works of your own.
Yeah. I mean,
and those people need a muse for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
I love having a muse when I have one. You know, I was also a photographer. I'm an audio guy.
Sounds like you're naturally a very creative person.
That's because I'm so ADHD and I'm dyslexic.
Oh. So you're just a natural problem solver.
I'm a walking miracle. You know what I mean?
I feel like once, like, I guess, like, when it comes to, like, learning disabilities of any sort, it's like you have to work your way around it in order to be...
You find workarounds to do everything.
To be even, like, considered normal or passing or whatever, like, all that stuff. So it does take a level of thinking outside of the box in order to meet that goal. Like, it's funny because, like, being ADHD... I think I've been told my whole life, well, you need to do it this way, and then you'll be able to achieve this. And then finally I got to a point where it's like, no, I can achieve that, but I just need to do it different, which helps me more because I can't do it the way that you expect me to do it.
Right. And, you know, in my regular career, I have a lot of different experience than most people because my career path was very odd, but it gave me the education of knowing like a general base of all of it. And so when people ask questions, it's like, oh yeah, I know the answer to that because I've done this and this and this and this. But at the same time, it's like, how do I make things better? So this is what I'm going to challenge you as well. I do this with everyone now. Because have you watched that series called The Bear?
No. Wait, is it like a cooking? It's like cooking, right? It's about like, okay. So I think I've seen some stuff of it.
Okay, it's way good.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I was watching the series with my wife, and one of the episodes inspired me, crazy inspired. Like when I got done watching that show, I went out to my computer and started like writing. And what I came up with was, and I'm going to give you this challenge. At Micallef, what's one thing you could do better? And you don't have to answer. You don't have to tell me. It can be, you don't have to share it. But I want to challenge you that because here's the thing. I think we all get lax at what we're good at.
Mm-hmm.
And we quit getting better.
So I feel like I always have to improve.
So but if you think of the one thing, what's the one thing? And I'm not asking you to tell me, but it's like if everybody around you were to get better at one thing, it is magnified because now we're all working to get better together. Mm-hmm. And so that's what I've done at my regular job is I've been like, hey, you don't have to participate, but if you'd like to, this is what I'm doing. I'd like you to do it.
Interesting.
It's been a lot of
I
fun.
have a lot to think about.
It's a lot of fun. Like it's been very inspirational.
There's part of me is like, well, don't be such a bitch all the time.
No, don't take that part away. Don't take that away.
I should be nicer.
Don't take that away. That's part of your. I was going to say charm, but maybe that's the wrong word.
She's so charming in such a bitchy way.
She's such a charming bitch. That's your title, charming bitch. I like that. So, what are you doing? What do you see going forward with your career with Micallef? Like, how long do you think you'll be here?
Well, I mean, that's always a question, right? I feel like I live it year by year. But like, it's like I'm always creating new goals for myself. So like, I think when I first started Micallef, it was like, all right, it was kind of like a gray area role. So it was like, okay, I need to create a strong foundation here.
Right. When you go to work for any new company or a new position,
you're vulnerable.
You have to research and get time and experience.
Well, I mean,
so that you can get better.
And then when you first start in a company, you feel very vulnerable. Like you're like, okay, like,
you're the outsider
I don't know the people here. I don't know the culture here. At the time, I was like, I don't even really know what my role is here. So
yeah, it's
kind of scary. And there was like, a little shifting in confidence in what I could be good at, and then getting each product. And I think I felt like I've made my own niche here, which is fantastic. It's very fulfilling for me as a professional and in the cigar industry for sure. And so like my next role, I asked my bosses, like I moved further away from the office. So I was like, I proposed to my bosses, like, hey, I would like to do more outside sales, grow the brand here in the DFW area, and, do that. And they were like totally on board with it. So
you took that idea to them.
Yeah, I did.
Isn't it great to have a boss that listens?
They're very, what I love about here is that they're super, I would love some.
Yeah.
They're super flexible. They are very, like, they've let me do so much in terms of like just even the social content creation I've done. They've been super just do it. And they've just trusted me with it and just let me kind of just do my own thing. I mean, I get feedback from them or told to do something, like I was like, hey, can I do this? And they're like, no, you can't do that.
And you're asking people with a lot of experience.
Exactly. And they have faith in me to succeed, which is a lot. But
when they tell you no, sometimes it's like,
well, I go pound my office.
Right.
Like.
But then also it's like later on down the road, you go, oh, that's why I don't need to do that.
Exactly. And
because sometimes, especially if you're like me, you do a lot of shit you shouldn't do.
Yeah.
And then you regret it.
Yeah. And then you're just like, it's fine. It's fine. I'll just regret it. It might keep me awake at night sometimes, but whatever. Move on.
Do you sleep?
I do. Sometimes I have trouble sleeping. I always have to play.
I'm a bad sleeper.
I have to play things at night to sleep, to turn my brain off. But
Any good tips? Like what play? What's a technique that helps you
I'm like
go
a
to sleep?
sociopath, man. I like listen to true crime podcasts when I go to bed at night. I listen to everything social. It depends on what mood I'm in. I love social commentary. I love listening to what people have to say, what's going on currently in terms of like the trends. What are the controversies? I love that stuff. I love dissecting those things.
Well, one of the reasons I said earlier about TikTok was I watched a video from a guy who is super, super successful in social media. And he said, good TikTokers copy content. Great TikTokers steal content.
Yeah. I mean, all ideas are not original.
Right.
I mean, that's always the case, right? It's always inspiration from something.
100%.
But you just do it different. So it's like a different package.
I did this cool thing. Do you use AI at all?
I've started to kind of use AI.
Good.
I don't like to use a lot of it because I think in a way you like to drink. I'm kind of a purist when it comes to the creative like method. But I do use it as a help. I was like writing my rap. I was like, okay, like I want to rap about this. And they kind of put something. I'm like, oh, I like that line, but I don't like so I might take that line and I might like, okay, what words rhyme with this word that I need? And so like they do that. So like I might start using more AI as I go further on.
So let me just say I use AI at least 4, sometimes 5 days a week.
Yeah.
And you know what helps is when you figure out how to make AI get better for you.
I mean, I guess it's like using a dictionary or a thesaurus or like
not
like
really.
or an
Not
encyclopedia.
really.
It's just like you're just like, okay, I want this idea and I want like, I mean, oh God, excuse me. Oh, so charming. It's about like kind of finiting your ideas, which is great.
Right, but here's the thing that will make you get so much better is you tell AI a style. Tell them, I want you to do this, but I want you to use it in a style of this and this and this.
There's a part of me that like, there's something to be said about the pleasurable experience of like the creative problem solving method where you're just like, you're just like, it's like you come across, you're like, you have this formula. You're like, okay.
And I can appreciate that. Because here's the thing. I don't use it to create my content.
Mm-hmm.
I use it to do the stuff I don't like to do.
I know. Well, I mean, I hate to say it. So for me, a lot of the things I don't like to do are what normal people like to do. So administration shit, hate it.
Oh, me too.
Hate that shit. Don't like math. Don't like administration shit. I don't want to do any of that. I just want to sit in my office and then do sales. Like I want to do more sales shit. Like that's what I want to do. Like, I want to be a professional talker. That's all I want to do.
Right?
I mean, like, there's some people that
I don't
live for
want
that.
to do anything
I love
else.
organizing and cleaning. And
Oh.
I'm like, no.
So let me tell you this. Last week, my wife cut the tip of her index finger off.
Oh, my God.
She was using a mandolin to slice oranges.
Mm-hmm.
And just right. I mean, it didn't get the nail, but like because it was at an angle, it sliced off like that.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And it was like, oh, why would you do that, first of all? But
Well,
first thing,
Well, shit happens. You know that.
and you know what happened when she got home? That was a brand new mandolin. Went right in the trash.
It's like it's a flesh cutter.
Well, when we went into the emergency care place, they were like, oh, there was a woman in here last week that did that. And my wife was like, that's it. I'm throwing it away. So, excuse me. Let me get comfortable here. But I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get off on a rant because I do that sometimes.
It's okay.
So, going forward, I use AI to do stuff I don't like doing. Like, it can help me work on my website designing skills.
No, and that's fine. Like, I mean, I do understand that. I don't know. Like, it's just like me. I'm just a crotchety old person at heart. Where I'm just like new technology.
I know a lot of people like that. They don't like new stuff.
It's just scary, you know, and
It is scary because
it's almost
like,
a threat to your existence. In a way.
No, it's over. Your existence is over.
I mean, come on. There's blow up dolls everywhere. There's like those like
Not
sex
blow up dolls.
There's those sex dolls out there. As a woman, you're like, ugh!
Oh, you want to hear something crazy?
I don't have any value anymore. I'm just like this like silicone thing that's just laying on a bed somewhere.
I'm writing a screenplay, and actually is about AI and humanoids and women. Because
Just always looking to be replaced. It's
all
terrible.
the women are shipped off to farms, and the men marry, or not marry, but have these humanoid women. Have you ever seen the rubberized sex dolls?
No, I okay, so there's this great magazine.
I want to tell you folks, I have.
There's this great magazine called Details, and they wrote an article about it, and I thought it was super fascinating. It was called the Doll Doctor, and he would fix those dolls.
Wow.
It was
I
fascinating.
mean, these are thousands and thousands of dollars.
But you know what? Because, okay.
And you can
This
order
just
them
shows-
custom.
This just shows the difference between men and women. So men have to get sex dolls, and women just have to have a dildo in a drawer. That's all we need.
That's not fair. How much is that? That's not thousands of dollars.
I know. It's just like, well, I don't know. It's been a while since I bought a dildo, so I don't know how much they cost anymore.
But I can tell you this: we have to have electricity. I mean, you have to have electricity of some sort. The doll doesn't.
No,
I mean, it
But
needs.
you have these men in these articles that are like creating these like feigned relationships with them, and you're just like, is that all it needs to like interact with a woman? Just have this imaginary relationship with us?
That is a man in a nutshell.
So fucking sad though. And
know.
you're just like, because I love men. I love talking to men. I think you guys are fascinating and just interesting and just that dynamic. But like, I've never, I guess, struggled to have a sex life. So I don't know if like these type of men just don't know how to talk to women, which, it's funny in the
But there's also women in the same boat.
it's true. But that's the one thing in the cigar industry that I kind of get irritated with.
How many women would just love to find out, oh my God, you know how many men are at the cigar lounge? If I went and smoked cigars, I'm like the cherry pie in the room.
Yeah, but I never had a problem because, it's funny, like working in the cigar industry, like no one asked me the question, like what it's like to work in the cigar manufacturer. They were always asking me what it's like to like walk into a cigar lounge. I was like, I never had a problem. Like I never had an issue. Everyone treated me with respect. I might get like that stray comment.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, I never it's not a big deal. Like maybe on the cigar manufacturing side, I can give you a whole litany of differences, but
in the community,
yeah, and
you're
then
respected.
and then people ask me, well, that took a while.
But also, like on social media,
No,
you've had some knocks on there. You
Oh.
remember the guy that was had long, kinky hair?
fuck that guy.
What was his name?
I don't remember. I hated him.
He would do a live and I would join in. What'd you say, Amanda? Food. Okay,
Oh,
yes,
food
yes,
thing.
yes. Hey,
Okay.
hey, we have drinks.
Well, we need to eat.
We have drinks. Yes, ma'am. We'll be right there.
No, I mean, like when I first started, that bothered me because I felt like I had a sensitive. Because I don't think I was like, there's some negative knocks I had when I was getting into the cigar industry, and then I was just like, well, fuck this guy. And now, like, that shit doesn't bother
I don't
me.
remember that guy's name, but he was he was doing a live because that's all he did.
He bothered me about him was that he criticized intensely of the women that were creating content.
Right.
And I'm just like, okay, that's fine, I guess. But like, you can't diversify that at all in any way. Like,
And he was stereotyping, and he had no solid information.
well, he was really coming
just
after
trolling.
he was coming after my friend Ashley very hard.
Right.
And that really pissed me off because Ashley's like an amazing person and she's so smart and she just knows how to market herself. And it was.
And I love the fact that because I know Ashley,
Yeah.
the turnaround she's done on social media in the last year, or I wouldn't say turnaround because that sounds like she was not doing well. She was doing well, but she is really advanced.
Yeah, she has.
I'd
And
love to see her growth.
She's a great businesswoman, and I feel like when you have men like that are very loud voices in the industry, like criticizing, especially women, it
And
makes
this guy had no credentials.
no, he didn't. It makes women not want to get in the industry, and then
Well, I was going to tell you though, he was doing a live on Instagram, and I went in there,
jackass.
and he was like, "So, is there any questions?" And I was like, "Yeah. Do you go by Fat Jesus?" So every time after that, if I saw his post, I was like, "Yo, Fat Jesus, He didn't care for that.
No. Well, it's okay when he's insulting other people, but it's not okay when you reverse it, right?
You know what? I offend all.
Yeah. But I mean, it was just like, I just feel like women do have a target on their backs in this industry.
I agree 100%.
And I feel like, well, it's, you know, it's not like I can get into this. Like, I could have a very long conversation about this, especially like.
We should do a whole show on just that.
Yeah, portrayed about women.
Because I know a lot of women in the industry.
Yeah.
And so
it's a lot of pressure
to
be it's a lot of pressure to be a certain way. And there's like, okay, well, we're not going to sexualize women in the industry. I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. That's great. Or we're not going to objectify women in the industry. That's great. That's fine. But
the men will.
But like, guess where that pressure and that responsibility lies. It doesn't
It's all on the woman.
Exactly.
And it's like, well, am I doing that too much, or am I doing, you know what I mean? It's
like I'm wearing a dress right now and I like fantastic, and but there's going to be that one guy that's like, oh, I can't respect her because I find her hot. Like, I mean, like, okay, I'm going to use this analogy and I hope it doesn't go the wrong way, but like, okay.
I hope it does, but go ahead.
Okay, so like what I find sexy in a man is when he dresses up and he looks nice, right? So, okay, Michael Hergelatz looks great. Sexy man.
Love in fact, I just talked to him and was like, dude, we got to get you back on the show.
Sexy man, right? Sexy man.
100%.
Do
you
suddenly
denounce him because he's dressing that way?
Yeah. Do I suddenly disrespect him because I find him sexy?
Are you like,
absolutely
hey,
not.
Michael, you need to dress like Carlito.
Michael, wear some fucking sweatpants so I can respect you more.
Right.
Like, I mean, it's not the case at all. And so I feel like a lot of women in this industry are like,
and also Michael is like very creative.
Yeah.
Like,
great.
My respect for him is, yes, he's awesome.
So, like, that's the thing. Like, it is a double standard, right? So, like, if a woman wants to dress up, look nice, and she just happens to look sexy, like, it's sort of like, oh, well, she can't be respected.
Well, I don't know who says that, but if you say that, you should, like, right now, hit the stop button and never come back to Cigar Talk, because we don't go with that bullshit.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like the thing. Like, can we just be both? Can you just be an attractive woman and then just happen to know your shit and just be overall like have some substantial value to you?
So let me tell you this, and I don't know if you know this, but back, I don't know, it's been a while back, but whenever we had the elections, I believe last year maybe, for railroad commissioner. Did you vote for railroad commissioner?
No, I did not.
So there was the guy we have now that we've had forever that is a complete douchebag. Just nothing about him is respectable, and it's all money.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's made some shady deals.
Yeah.
And there was a woman who is a lawyer, attorney in the oil and gas business. And she decided to run. And she, like, the news outlets completely ignored her. And so she went out and did a photo shoot in West Texas on a pump jack. And all she was wearing was a thong and a cowboy hat. And you know what? I voted for her. I did.
Okay, that's a little much, though.
It was, but then all of a sudden people found out about her because now the news reports that shit, but they never ran any stories about her running.
See, isn't that crazy, though? And so, like, that can go back into...
And this woman is a very classy woman, so don't think that she's some West Texas oil and gas...
But that is like the initial problem with women in the cigar industry. It's like, you're not going to pay any attention. So like these girls women get in these traps on the social media where they're like, well, I have to be sexy in order to get a lot of engagement.
Well, I mean, do they think that way, or do they think,
no,
hey,
you look
I
at the
got this
numbers.
and if I do this, I'm going to...
No, but you look at the numbers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I'm not showing tits or ass, it's like a struggle, man. I have to like jive and like I have to throw some dick jokes, and then I'm gonna get.
But it also takes a lot longer.
It does.
Like, you're gonna put in time to build a following.
But I mean, like, do you want the easy way or do you want the long way?
Both.
I mean,
both.
But like, if the men,
I'm jealous as shit that I can't sit on a pump jack wearing a thong and make my listenership go way up.
I know. Do you think? But that could also be a problem too. Like, I was talking to someone about this earlier, especially between the men and the women in the cigar industry. Like, a man like has to go, like, you guys just blend in. like with each other. Like as a woman coming in the industry, you just automatically get attention.
Oh yeah, nobody. Well, I mean, very few men are separated.
Yeah.
Like some guy,
You guys
Michael
have to go-
Hercolot stands out. Robert Caldwell stands out.
Mm-hmm.
Even though
Matt Booth stands out. Oh, I forgot. Sensitive subject. Never mind.
All right, fine. We don't say that name on this show.
Anonymous.
Booth.
Okay.
In fact, I call him
Carlito stands
Carlito.
out. Stands out. Okay. And then, Pete Johnson stands out.
Right. There are the Saka.
Yeah, but a woman can easily come into this industry and stand out.
Oh, 100%.
100%. And I don't know. I think there might be a little jealousy.
But
factor in
what here's the thing that I see as like an outsider looking in is the women who come in that take on that role to be like,
A
I'm
leader?
not going to be sexy. I'm going to dress in business suits. I'm going to,
Why do we have to dress in business suits? Like
No.
I'm
just
do
saying.
I do like a good pair of pants here and there, but like, I mean, like,
but not every time.
But why do we always have like? That's the thing. That there's a struggle between looking at the pantsuit and looking at the skirt. Am I gonna look slutty in the skirt, or am I gonna look?
And you know what? I have never once said that when I'm picking out my clothes. Is that going to make me look slutty?
Exactly. We think about this all the time.
Do
and
you really?
It's a fucking exhausting. It's just like I'm just like, are people going to take me seriously if I wear the pantsuit?
And it's 2023, Lauren.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
Can you imagine? Do you realize that a woman couldn't open her own checking account in her own name without her husband's signature as a sign off until 1978?
that's ridiculous.
78. It hadn't been that long ago.
I know.
So
But we get free drinks and we can talk our way out
I'm
of tickets.
pissed about that too.
We can talk our way out of our tickets sometimes. It's great.
Yeah, okay.
It's so equal. It pays out eventually.
Hey, take what you can get, right?
Dude, fuck yeah.
I mean-
I'm a girl on a budget. Like, come on.
I mean, I'm not going to pass up shit that
I have to wear
get.
makeup. You know how expensive that is?
I do not. Well, my wife does too. So
No.
anyway. All right. You know what? I know we are at the open house. I want to say thank you for coming and being a guest on the show. It's always a pleasure. And I know there's food down there and
We
we're
gotta eat.
all hungry and we're going to drink more later. So we probably do need to have a bite.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
And I want to have you come on again soon.
Yeah, we're going to have a long discussion.
Thank you so much. Hey, guys, we're going to take a quick break and then we'll be back. Don't go anywhere. Hope you enjoyed that interview with Lauren. She's always one of my very favorite people to interview. She is just like, she says whatever's on her mind. You know what I mean? She doesn't hold back. She's not trying to be something that she's not. That's what I dig about her. And she's a cigar smoker and a bourbon drinker.
Heck yeah.
And I'm like, rock and roll. You know what I mean? Like, I think that she drinks anything that we would drink.
Send her a bottle.
While we were there, actually at the open house at the Micallef event, we started drinking that night. Dan pulled out a bottle of rum.
Get out of town.
And I was like, I'm not real big on rum.
Yeah.
You know what? It was a sipping rum, and it wasn't that much different than bourbon.
You know, Jay had one of those at the office recently, and it was actually pretty good.
This was lights out. Like, I was like, I normally would say I'm not a big rum person, but if I knew what this was.
Not your Captain Morgan.
And you know what, guys? I'm gonna call Dan, and we will see if we can find out what what rum that was. Hey, you guys on, we're doing also a live on Instagram, but we're going to cancel that because we can't call Dan and do that. You know what I mean? So here we go. Let's see if we can call Dan right quick. He may not even answer. He's gonna be like, oh, that's Rob Jones. We ain't answering that dude. Yeah, that's not a rarity. That's the norm. And I don't have my glasses on. Maybe I typed it in wrong, but I'm not seeing him in there. Let's see. D-A-N. Oh, yeah. There he is. Thank you, Larry. Here we go. Let's see if we can get him in here. All right, here we go. Oh, it's ringing.
Hey, Rob, give me 1 second.
Oh, absolutely, Dan. Take your time. You're on the show.
Fantastic. Let me pause the YouTube I'm listening to.
Oh,
How are you
you're
doing?
watching this week's video. Thank you so much.
I didn't see a video. I had an audio version that had just a screen.
Ah, gotcha. Well, yeah,
that missed the video?
that was actually what we posted to YouTube. We're in the stages of getting the studio finished so we can actually do the video part. We are recording video on much of it, but a lot of that's just going to be used as like, social media propaganda.
Clips and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense. Good for you.
Well, thank you. Hey, so here's the reason we called you, and sorry for like blindsiding you, but we were telling Hatch about the open house and how that evening we started with a rum, and I couldn't remember the name of it, but I was telling her it was actually delicious.
It is.
Can you tell us what it was, though?
Yeah, I set the whole bottle in front of you.
Well, Dan,
Man,
that's
do
been
you
2
not
weeks
know
ago.
him?
And here's the best part. I have a case that just got imported to me from Louisiana.
Oh.
I'm restocked and ready to go.
Well, I already told Hatch and Larry that in the very near future, we're going to come up on a Monday and give both these guys a big tour of Micallef. And I kind of made that promise already, so I hope that that's not a big deal.
Well, we'd love to have you. Monday is never the best day, but we'll figure out how to make it work.
You know how we can come on a Sunday, but I figure that's the worst day.
Sometimes it's not. It's nice and quiet.
That's true. So what is the name of this beautiful rum that you presented to us at the open house?
Well, Alan and I call it Tylenol.
Tylenol.
Yeah, it helps wipe away your problem.
Oh. Yeah, we have the early times ball and bond for that, but we call it the fuck it all.
Yeah, well, Tylenol just goes better.
Yes, that's true. So, what was the real name of the rum, or is it a secret?
No, it's not a secret. Let me get it just a second so that I can tell you exactly what bottle it is.
Okay, he's got a bottle handy.
Yes, he does.
So you know that's a guy that's drinking a lot of it.
I'm on the internet. Give me 1 second.
I feel like I should be playing that game show music, Da, 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 da.
All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
Hit us.
And it's funny because I've never ever looked up the full name. It's just always been given to me. It is Bayou XO Mardi Gras.
Wow, Bayou XO Mardi Gras.
Yeah, I love that.
And if you don't, in case somebody is looking for a bottle, well, what's a reasonable price for a fifth?
Now, here's where I'm embarrassed. I've never bought a bottle.
Hey, you shouldn't be embarrassed. You should be proud.
Heck yeah.
So Bob Aiken, when he goes to events down at LSU to watch a game, he tends to bring some up, or when he goes down there fishing, he brings it back. And Donna just brought me a bottle.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
They
Well,
get it from the distillery.
I remember a few years ago, I was at the headquarters. We were in your conference room, and you poured us a rum then, and it was very good as well.
Yeah,
And
my normal table rum is the Tapa.
say that one more time.
The Tapa, Taca.
Okay, I love that too.
It is readily available. It's not very expensive.
And what's the price point on that one?
Maybe $30 a bottle now.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I was telling Hatch earlier that the rum that you have given us is not that different from like whiskey or bourbon.
No, whiskey's at a real rate. I think that gin's going to be the next big thing. But as people get attracted into markets, I was like, I got to go find something I can drink that's well priced. And I searched, and I was drinking Havana Club from Cuba, and I was in London, and the bartender, he goes, you got to try this Zacapa. And I I like it better than the Havana Club.
Okay, good to know. So let me ask you this. Have you ever had Early Times bottled in bond bourbon?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, well, that's what we're drinking tonight, and we like to say that is like one of the like
That's
hidden
great,
gems. Like
Yeah,
is
absolutely.
you get a liter bottle for $21 to $25, and
Yeah, unfortunately, all the whiskey people put pressure on the prices, and that has not happened in rum yet.
oh, very nice. Well, yeah,
But I'll give you one. Do not confuse the Zacapa with Zaya. Zaya is maybe Zaya, and it has a vanilla in it. But to me, it tastes like eating artificial something.
crab,
Yeah,
like
Soylent something.
crab.
It's got an artificial vanilla in it. It's
Oh.
terrible.
Oh, yeah. I'm not a big fan of the bourbon, or no, excuse me, the rum that has that spice to it. You know, like Captain Morgan.
Well, that's definitely a low end one. I have had spiced rums that were very good.
Really?
They were all in little locations down in the Caribbean, usually local stuff.
Mm.
And it's delightful.
And a lot of the rum,
you know,
from what I've
that's not
seen,
what
is not aged very long.
Zacapa, for example, they call it Zacapa 23 because it's aged. And I don't know how long this Bayou XO is aged. I don't have any idea. I'm looking at it. It says it's in barrels for up to 5 years and finished 1 year extra in a Spanish sherry barrel.
Okay.
So yeah, they're definitely doing that.
Yeah, I want to say back in the day when I was a kid, I was 21, so don't anybody want to go back and charge me, but we had the Parrot Bay and we mixed it with something and it would tasted like Dr. Pepper.
Rob, that's when we were still drinking trash can punch and stuff.
That is 100% right. I was in high school, but I was a late bloomer, so I was 21.
I got it. I got it. I know exactly.
Those were the good old days, but
Oh, thank God we don't have to live in them.
oh, absolutely. I'm too old for that shit now.
Hey, the other thing to look for if you're just looking for some interesting spirits, mezcal was a disgusting product when we were growing up.
100%.
They're bottling some mezcals that are unbelievable.
Hey, well, when you know of one, shoot me a text and with a picture of it if you can.
Yeah, I've got it in my notes. When I was spending a lot of time in Mexico City, they introduced it to me, and it was excellent.
And it didn't taste like Jose Cuervo.
No, it's somewhere between these great rums that I'm drinking now and a great tequila. I mean, it's really well done.
See, that's really good to know because I can't stand mezcal because I've never had any that I've liked.
it's
So that's
terrible.
good to know.
Well, I was very hesitant, but the people I was with they've got great taste. They own the restaurant, so I was so pleasantly surprised.
Usually he's only hesitant when he's with me.
Obviously.
Patch, I don't know how you do it, but we sure want more of you.
Thanks, Dan. I'll look forward to meeting you soon.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyways, well, yeah.
Yeah, well, hey, thanks for letting us know. Like I said, you know, a lot of people are like, hey, what do you drink? And I'm like, I only drink bourbon. And it's like, you kind of feel like you're being a bourbon snob. And I'm not a bourbon snob. I just don't know of any other, like, spirits that I care for, because the only spirits I compare with what I'm drinking now is what I was drinking when I was a teenager. And I hate all of what I drank back then.
Well, I think that you're on the right track. There's definitely different spirits today that just weren't available then, and they're doing some pretty amazing things and at great prices.
Yeah, I'm impressed with a lot of the prices. And Hatch brought a bottle over a couple of days ago. Have you ever had the Elijah Craig barrel proof?
I haven't. I don't drink a whole lot of bourbon anymore.
Oh, well, I'm sorry to hear that, Dan. Maybe we can work with you and get you back.
Wasn't.
What's that?
My pocketbook was not disappointed.
Well, yeah, I understand. But anyway, she brought over a bottle of Elijah Craig barrel proof. I've had it before. It's 124 proof, and it drinks like it's 100 proof. It's that good.
Wow. There was something I was drinking, it's like Old Alabama or something like that, and it was very delicious.
Okay. Well, you know, I actually bought a set of little travel, what do you call it? Flask. I think they're like 2-ounce flask. I'm going to pour some of this in there, and next time I see you, I'm going to have you a little bottle of the barrel proof Elijah Craig.
That would be great. I'd love to sip a little of it.
Absolutely. Well, hey, Dan, thank you so much for taking the time to take our call. We're going to get on with the show,
worries.
but thank you so much, brother, and we'll talk to you real soon.
Hey, thank you very much.
Have a good
Bye-bye.
evening. Bye.
All right. Well, hey, thanks for Dan jumping in there and letting us know, because I'm going to tell you right now, like, I would have never thought that I would enjoy a rum.
I know.
It's like, because if you think back to the rum that we have had,
Too
it's
spicy.
like it's too sweet.
Yes.
It's too like that spice, whatever that is. And when I say spice, it's not like, you know, pepper for cigars. It's just kind of funky.
Yeah. I need to find out that one that Jay had, because it was actually really good. It was very smooth.
And it doesn't have that sweet, and it doesn't have that spice.
No.
It's almost like having a bourbon or a whiskey.
It's a sipping rum, if there is such a thing.
And I've Zacapa.
Maybe. Yeah.
And I've also, like, I have a friend that drinks, like, he loves tequila. And when I was up at his house last time, I think he probably had like 30 different tequilas.
And I only buy Hornitos. That's all I buy for tequila.
Never heard of it,
Yeah.
but I don't drink tequila.
And I don't that much anymore, so.
Last time I had tequila, I got a new nickname called Bushy. We're not going to get into that, folks.
Next episode.
Right. So, hey, it's time for the Micallef Minute.
Okay. So, for all of you dog lovers out there, the American Kennel Club, the AKC, for over 30 years.
Now, here's a question I have for you before you ask the actual question.
Okay.
Is, how long have the AKC been around?
Hell if I know.
Well, if you're going to come in here, okay.
I
never
didn't
mind.
do
Sorry,
a
go
book
ahead.
report
Sorry.
on it. My gosh.
Sorry, Hatch. Go ahead.
Okay, the American Kennel Club for over 30 years, the Labrador Retriever, which I have always owned a lab. So,
Now, your dog now, is that a lab?
yeah, it's a chocolate lab.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, have you ever had a blonde lab?
The first lab I ever had was blonde. I love them.
I had a blonde lab for about 3 weeks. And after, like, I came out in the backyard and he had taken, like, all the wood off of the window frame, I took him back.
That's what a lab does.
Yeah, I didn't know that. And I was like, dude, you got to go. I mean, all the framing around the windows had been chewed
I
off.
blame you. That's totally on you.
Yeah, I will take most of the blame. I understand, but I couldn't do that. So then we got Ferb.
Yeah, God, poor Ferb.
But go ahead.
Okay, so for over 30 years, the Labrador Retriever was the top dog, or the top breed for the American Kennel Club. In 2023, it was overtaken by another breed.
So just this year.
Yes.
Wow.
And I'll be honest, it is not a funky thing. Like, it is something everyone has heard of before. What is that breed? That's the question.
I'm going to guess right now it's not a Shar-Pei.
It is not.
Those were always cool dogs. You know, they had their heyday.
Did they?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, people had them, but they had a heyday.
They had a heyday. Like everywhere you looked, there was pictures of that wrinkledy dog. You weren't old enough to even think about it. But Larry, you remember. He remembers.
Okay, so Larry remembers the heyday. Okay.
Larry was around during the heyday of the
Shar-Pei
Shar-Peis. But anyway, all right. So we have a new dog that's top dog.
Heck yeah. What is it?
And was it surprising to you?
So I'll give you a hint. It is a very popular breed, But for anything to overtake the lab is shocking to me. So I'll say that.
Because, I mean, really, when people say dog is man's best friend, the dogs they think of is number one going to be the lab. Number two is going to be the collie.
I would have gone like golden retriever, but okay, collie, whatever.
You don't remember a show called Lassie? Lassie and Old Yeller. That's all you need to know. Am I right, Larry? Old Yeller, which was a lab,
Yeah.
and Lassie.
I've seen them both.
And then, I mean, for me, what was your, like, what dog did you have that was like you were really close to?
The one I currently have. I will wear black for a year when he dies.
Really?
Yeah, it will not be good.
So let me
I'll
tell
need
you.
a lot of bourbon, guys, by the way.
You know what? We're going to go out and buy the best bottle that's available.
So it's not
Or
gonna be a
Early
good
Times
year.
Ball and Bond. But when I was 19, I had a black Chow.
Okay.
And that dog went everywhere with me.
Cool dogs.
Oh, it was a cool dog. And my friend at that time, John, which you all know about, the one-eyed baller. But anyway, he had like a collie.
Okay.
And he was like, hey, man, let's take our dogs out to this little country area and let them run and do whatever dogs do. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. So I take my dog there. He's got his collie. That dog's there. And we let them out. And they like run down a rabbit. And he gets into this like big old pile of tree trunks.
Okay.
You know. Well, his dog comes back to us. My dog dives in, finds the rabbit, and brings it out, kills it, and then brings it back. And John was like, whoa, I didn't know your dog was going to kill it. And I was like, yeah, my dog is a hunter, not a gatherer. But anyway, all that to say, I had that dog for about 1.5 years, and I was outside doing some dumb shit. I don't know what. And I witnessed my dog getting hit by a car.
That's horrible.
And it was dead. Well, it wasn't dead right afterwards, but he died within 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Internal bleeding. It was bad.
Traumatized.
Oh,
Why
it
would
was.
you tell me that story?
I'm telling you that story because that's why I've never been close to another dog.
Oh, you hate the one you have. Which
I don't
is so
hate my
sweet.
dog. I don't hate my dog. I just don't. Me and that dog are not like this.
Rob has the sweetest freaking dog of all time.
He makes you think that. He is diabolical. I promise you, he is diabolical.
Whatever.
I'll tell you this. My wife is in the house most of the day. If she goes out of town and he's in the house and I don't bring him out here to the studio with me, he does mean shit.
Of course he does.
Yeah, he's like, hey, fuck face.
That's right.
I go in the house and he has dug through the trash and it is all over the kitchen. He knows better. He never does it, but just to be an asshole, he does it.
Let's say you know better.
Anyway. All right. So that's your question. Micallef Minute is, what is the number one dog overtaking the Labrador?
Heck yeah. What is it?
I really can't imagine what it is. I mean, you know what a Great Pyrenees is?
Yeah.
That's what my parents had.
Oh, okay.
That was an amazing dog.
Those are big dogs.
But that is not only a big dog, but it's very hairy.
Yes.
So, like in Texas is not really the best way. But I'll tell you this. Are you aware that between Santa Ana and Brownwood, there is like a sheep farm?
Okay.
And it's all rolling hills. You know, the sheep are just out there. And when you go by that farm, they have like 5 Pyrenees because you are not going to steal one of the sheep while the Pyrenees is on the lookout.
Nope. You got sheep is one you have to have a dog.
Gotta have a
You gotta
dog.
have it.
Or a mule.
Yep.
A mule will also work, but I would rather have a dog.
Yep. So I nearly bought a sheep ranch. I don't know if you know that or not.
Where was this?
Coleman.
I remember that.
And
Right next to the railroad tracks.
they had a pack of dogs, which I had never heard of.
What kind of dogs?
I'd never heard of them at the time, but I looked them up. They're called Congles. And they are some big puppies. But the guy who owned the ranch said, this breed is by far the best breed I have ever had for protecting these sheep.
Really?
And he said they will absolutely tear apart anything that comes in this fence but a human.
Wow.
He said, so if you have any other animals, you got to pin them up. But I was like, my God, damn.
Yeah, but when you have sheep, coyote,
Mm-hmm.
mountain lions
Yep.
in this region
Yep.
is an issue.
Yes, it is.
I remember back on my dad's property when he used to do cattle, he always had a donkey.
Yeah.
And I was like, what's the donkey for? And the donkey will do the same thing.
Yep.
You are not going to mess with these cows. So anyway, okay, well, cool. All right, guys. Well, that's going to wrap up this week's show. I hope you enjoyed it. And until next time,
Just keep smoking.
Until we meet again. Happy trails to you. Keep smiling until then.
Who cares about the clouds when we're together? Just sing a song and think about sunny weather.
Happy trails to you till we meet again.